How are you guys doing? I'm looking up at you because you're on my big monitor. You're taking care of yourselves, managing your resilience, emotions, nourishment, staying engaged where you can. I'm watching your heads nod. Yeah. Important, very important times. Okay, so we're going to have a practice this morning, and I'm going to start by quoting Larry Ward, who is a Dharma teacher that Melissa introduced me to. And thank you, Melissa, for your help with gathering resources for me. So what he's talking about is a multi-layered thing from a blog that he recently put out, and his book is coming out in the fall. So that's positive. He's writing about racial injustice and America's karma in this regard. So the quote that I'm going to read, I had to edit some pieces out so I could fit it on the screen, but I tried to keep the essence of it. I just edited a couple of the words out. So let me place this up for you guys. So he said this in his blog: "We have to create communities of resilience. No one in this country, in the USA, from the beginning believed that we could live together. That's our legacy. So when we see and feel the experience we're having right now, how could it be otherwise? We started that way," he says. "This is karma. Karma can be healed and transformed, but only if we choose to do so." And now he's speaking from a Buddhist lens. He's a student of Thich Nhat Hanh. We also say the same in the yoga lens. We either karma can be healed and transformed when we make the choice to do so, or karma keeps repeating itself and becomes more painful. He then says, "A community of resilience is one of kindness, openness, generosity, sanity, and loving. There are many people in this land who do not believe this is possible. I know it has to be concrete. It has to be embodied so that when people encounter it, they go, oh my goodness, I didn't know experientially that this was possible." So he also teaches in the Dharma, he teaches an embodied experience of this, of community living together, working together, exploring together, coming into insight together. So that's a part of his work in the world. We have to have this be embodied. So we sense it when it's happening and we say, oh, here it is. And this lines up, of course, really well with our yoga practice, that we're here to be embodied in yoga, and also to be embodied in the neurological community that we share. And it's beyond us practicing together. When I say community that we share, I mean our family of humanity. So let's take a comfortable seat. I'm going to back away so that I won't hit the computer when I come. We're going to do a little pranayama like we've been doing, and I don't want to run into the computer when I go forward. So please take a comfortable seat. You can rest your hands out over your knees. You're welcome to close your eyes for a few moments. And to take in the words. Of course, people are confused, overwhelmed. This is our karma. Karma can be healed and transformed, but only if we choose to do so. You can allow these words to sort of permeate, to keep your heart porous. Let it permeate to your heart, your body, your mind, your breath. And then start to breathe the words in, right? So a sense that as you inhale, you can bring in whatever wisdom you're receiving from Larry Ward's teachings here, and let it come into the fabric of your body. When you exhale, try softening any resistance to the teachings. He says, communities of resilience are communities of generosity, kindness, sanity, and love. We have to learn to embody the experience of cohabitating, living together, being together. He does not mean that only in our own homes. He means in the larger community. Let's do 3 breath cycles more, breathing in to sense these words that he was using in his blog. I will share it once more for those who are just signing on. And also softening on the exhale any resistance to this wisdom coming in. And then please join your hands together in Anjali Mudra. And notice that, as I've said before, in the center of the palms, when you put the palms together in Anjali Mudra, there's this little opening in there. And you can imagine that as a place that you're right now putting your intention. And then the chant that you sing, the vibration of the heart and the voice, makes that intention move outwards. The word Anjali means to make a forward offering from the heart. So we'll chant together Om Bhuva Suvaha. Om Bhuva Suvaha. Tatsavitur Varenyam. Bhargo Devasya Dhimoi. Dhiyo Yona Prachodayata. Om Bhuva Suvaha. Tatsavitur Varenyam. Bhargo Devasya Dhimoi. Dhiyo Yona Prachodayata. Om Bhuva Suvaha. Tatsavitur Varenyam. Bhargo Devasya Dhimoi. Dhiyo Yona Prachodayata. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Guru Pyo Namaha. Hari Om. With your exhale, you may bow your head to your heart. And then imagine the Anjali Mudra, as a forward offering from the heart. You can lift your gaze, you can open your palms. May the intention you have for your practice flow outwards into your life, into your words, your speech, your thoughts, and your actions. And may it flow out to touch and nourish our community as well. We go like this, from Anjali Mudra to this offering. So now we're going to move through the neck and shoulders to try to open up heart chakra, throat chakra, and ultimately sixth chakra, the chakra for vision. So I'm going to ask you to press your right arm out to the side. We did this a couple days ago and I had a request to repeat it. You might, when you pull your fingers back towards your ear, you might already feel big sensations running down your arm. Please tip your left ear to the side. The sensations might get bigger. Let's inhale. And then exhale, roll up and straighten your wrist. You inhale, bring your ear down, pull your fingers back. Exhale, roll up, lengthen through your wrist. So that's letting the nerve glide ease. And then we are bringing in tension to the nerve pathway. This is called nerve gliding. Rise up. And then tipping. And rise up. Do that once more. Inhale, pull back. Now keep your head tipped to the left and vary. You can take the fingers under. You're going to feel the nerves on the top of the forearm. They start in your neck. And then stretch the fingers out and pull them back. Rotate. Roll the fingers in towards your wrist. Open that up. Pull the fingers back. Rotate. And then pull the fingers in towards your wrist. Pull the fingers back and rotate to where we started. And then start bringing your hands slowly, slowly down. And you might notice the sensations do get more intense. When you get to the bottom, exhale, let the right arm be relaxed and at ease. Float your head up to center. And try noticing the difference from right to left in the body. Great, now bring your left hand up and you can pull the fingers back like this and tip your right ear towards your right shoulder. You might have sensations running down your arm. So this is the inhale, and we do kind of flare the fingers and stretch the nerve, and then exhale. Okay, inhale. You can smile at those sensations. Exhale. Your body is not trying to be unkind to you, only to inform you. These things are happening in your system. Being aware of them is better than not being aware of them. Stretch out. And once more. Now keeping your head down to the right, you're going to vary the hand positions. So curl your fingers in. Those are the nerves on the top of your forearm. And then flare the fingers open. Okay, rotate. Curl in. Open. Rotate. Curl in. That's a strong one for me. Open. Roll up. And rise. Oh, sorry, I forgot one part. I don't want to leave that out. Okay, tip your head down and start to slowly lower the heel of your hand. Notice from your earlobe down to your fingerprints. Going, continue, and then let your left arm relax, okay? And float your head up to center and notice what's happening. You might even feel like a little bit swimmy. I mean, your breathing circulation has been changed by releasing some of the tension in the neck. And now interlace your fingers, inhale to go up. And exhale, push out. Inhale, draw in. And then exhale, reach forward on the floor. Inhale, rise up to your seat, hands to the heart. Exhale, push forward. Inhale, up. Exhale, out. Inhale, draw in. There's your intention. Exhale, reach forward. Inhale, draw up to sitting, Anjali Mudra. Exhale, push forward. Inhale to rise. Exhale, push out. Inhale, draw in. And then rest your hands in your lap and notice what's transpired. Just nerve gliding and a short breathing practice. What's happening now for your mind and your heart? How can you now sit with the teachings that Larry gave? This is our karma. Karma can be healed and transformed, but only if we choose to do so. Please come over to table pose, hands and knees pose. Thank you, Susie, for helping me. If you'd like, I have a double mat here, so I don't put a blanket for my knees for table pose each time, but I have shown that you can do that. You are certainly welcome to. And when I ask you to come to table pose, let's put the index fingers pointing forward, and then the other fingers flare out from there. This is your table pose. So inhale to cat, let the whole back body broaden. Now exhale, reach backwards towards, about halfway towards child's pose, keeping your cat pose intact. And then inhale, roll forward to cat pose. We've done this before, so it should feel familiar to most of you. Exhale, roll forward to cow pose. Lift your gaze and open your throat. Inhale to cat. When you exhale back, make a sound. Inhale, forward cat. Cow pose with lion's breath. Inhale, cat. Halfway to child's pose. Inhale, cat pose. Lion's breath. Once more, inhale to cat. Halfway to child's pose. Inhale, cat. Lion's breath. And now inhale all the way back to child's pose. When you come to child's pose, press into your fingerprints and thumbprints and pick up the centers of your palms and the heels of your hands. So the fingers can look a little bit like spiders or suction cups. Reach your hips back, but hover your head between your upper arms. So lift the base of your skull. And then float forward to table pose and put a block under each hand. Put the blocks on the medium setting. You're about to find out how much more open you can make the chest, heart, and throat. So when you place the hands now, I'm going to recommend that you put your index fingers a little bit sideways on the blocks, and then the other 3 fingers and thumbs around the edges of the blocks. And let's inhale to cat pose and make your cat pose deliberately broad on the back of the body. Exhale halfway back to child's pose. Inhale, cat. Cow pose, lion's breath. Inhale to cat. Undulate the spine, tailbone, lumbar spine, mid and upper spine. Child's pose. Once more, inhale to cat. Lion's breath. Now stay in cow pose, please, and lift your chin deliberately. And then slowly turn to look past your left shoulder towards the floor behind you. Inhale, bring your chin forward and raise it up again. And slowly look past your right shoulder towards the floor behind you. Inhale, raise your chin forward. And exhale, reach backwards to child's pose. Keep your hands on the blocks so your hands are elevated. Rest your ears between your upper arms. Lift the base of your skull. Good. And then walk your hands back towards your knees. And rise up for a moment to kneeling and check in again to see what is the felt sense in your body, in your heart. Karma can be healed and transformed, but we have to choose to do so. I'd like to do a sequence for the neck and shoulders that I have planned, but we're going to get a little bit warmer first, so you can put your blocks aside and rise up to Prasarita Padottanasana. Of course, if you use blocks for this pose, please use them. Otherwise, I'm going to ask you to take a wide stance, like an equilateral triangle means that your feet are as wide as the length of your legs, and come down to Prasarita Padottanasana. And I'd like us to do the version where we walk the hands out. So your arms are stretched out just like they were in child's pose a moment ago on the fingertips. Lift the centers of your palms. Even if you're using blocks, you can do fingertips right now. And please come into the Ujjayi breath. So you're going to start having a smooth inhale from the beginning of the breath into its full expansion. Little inhale pause at the top. And then a smooth exhale, tone the low belly all the way to the end, into the exhale pause. And make a smooth transition into the next in-breath as well. Now, as you continue that, I'm going to ask you to really focus on your shoulder blades here and widen your shoulder blades around your rib cage. To do that, as you're on your fingertips, imagine you're turning two faucets and you're turning each faucet, right faucet to the right, left faucet to the left. So in that little turn, my hope is that you feel the sides of the shoulder blades activate. And as you imagine the shoulders rotating like that, your shoulder blades will widen around the sides of your rib cage. Stay with the Ujjayi breath and see if it's possible for the inhale to touch the upper part of your shoulder blades. So keeping that rotation in your hands, arms, and shoulders, that is not easy and does need your attention. Do one more breath cycle, please. And then walk your hands back towards your feet. So you've got foot, hand, hand, foot. Please bring your blocks with you if you're using them. And bow the torso down towards your legs. Hug the elbows in until they are parallel with your shoulders and your wrists. And that should also serve to broaden the upper back and your shoulder blades, and kind of like the back of your heart. And then please shift your hands to your hips and thoughtfully rise up to standing. So those actions with your arms in that position in Prasarita Padottanasana, those are the actions of downward facing dog pose too. And if you take a block, please, they are also the actions of when your arms go overhead in something like Warrior One or Upward Hands Pose or Chair Pose. So we're going to be using that action. The shoulder blade widens around the rib cage here, and the rotation of the arm is what we call external. Your palms face up like that. So please step forward. If you'd like to use blocks for your sun salutation, you're welcome to do that. We are going to put one block between the hands. So if you're someone who enjoys this like I do, you can place the block down, but we are going to have it between the hands for this part too. Okay, so please put the block, if possible, like this, where your palms are facing forward. If necessary, of course, you can place it like this. This is maybe more neutral rotation, and this is more external rotation. Okay, here we go. Raise the arms up. Inhale. And then exhale, bend your knees and sit down to chair pose. Do your best to press the pinky fingers into the sides of the block as you inhale. Now exhale, push down to rise up, lift your heart, open your throat, lift your chin, lift your gaze. And then exhale like an Anjali Mudra with your block. Come down to Uttanasana. Good. Inhale, glide forward, come up to your fingertips, open the throat. And exhale, step backwards with your left foot. Take the block in your right hand. Inhale, sweep the arms wide. And place the block. So if possible, you are pressing your pinkies into the block a little bit more firmly than your index fingers. Hug the triceps in towards the nose, widen your shoulder blades and lift up. Please look up, open the throat. Hold the block in your right hand. Exhale, take the arms wide. Inhale, step forward, bring your heart forward, open your throat. Exhale, take the right foot back. Pick up the block in your left hand. Inhale to rise. The blocks hopefully don't have those old wooden blocks that are really heavy. And press the pinkies more firmly than your thumbs and index fingers. Hug the triceps in towards your nose. And as you reach up, please look up. Do your best to keep breathing. If the body feels stiff, if anything is occurring that you feel, oh gosh, I wish this were different, remind yourself that yoga doesn't recommend practicing aversion in your attitude, in your thoughts. Yoga does recommend practicing awareness. When you next exhale, sweep the arms wide and come slowly forward. Touch the two blocks now for dog pose. Inhale, step backwards. Thumbs on the insides of the blocks, fingers on the outsides, index fingers on the top of the block. Okay, let's inhale, roll forward to plank. And then exhale, step over one foot and bring your heart through to upward facing dog pose. Breathe in, please. And then exhale, roll up, plank pose, excuse me. Inhale, downward facing dog pose. And exhale, step forward. Awkward foot, second foot. Uttanasana. Pick up the block in your left hand. Inhale to rise. And exhale, bring that down to a kind of funny looking Anjali Mudra. Keep it in your left hand. Inhale. Chair pose. Inhale, rise up, look up. Exhale, left hand wide, Anjali Mudra. Uttanasana. Inhale, glide forward, heart forward, look forward. Okay, left foot back. Inhale to rise. Look up. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, wide and down. Inhale, step forward, look forward. Exhale, right foot back. Block in the right hand, inhale. Stay for the exhale. With your in-breath, you're gonna look up, reach up. Exhale. Inhale, dog pose. This time, exhale, plank pose. Step over one foot, then the other. Upward facing dog pose. We'll stay for a few breath cycles. Set the shoulders back. Stretch the chin up. And then exhale, gaze down, press down, plank pose. The shoulder blades widen on the back. And inhale, downward dog pose. Again, the shoulder blades are wide on your back. Now step the other foot forward first this time. Your familiar foot, the awkward foot. Put the block in your right hand. Inhale to rise. And then exhale, Anjali Mudra with your block. Once more, another change of rhythm. So inhale, exhale, chair. Inhale, rise. Exhale, down. Inhale, forward. Exhale, left foot. Inhale to rise. Exhale, down. Inhale, forward. Exhale, right foot. Inhale, rise. Exhale, descend. Downward dog. Plank pose. Upward dog. Plank. Downward dog. Inhale. Right foot. Inhale, rise. Exhale, descend. Dog pose. Left foot. Inhale, rise. Exhale, descend. Inhale, forward. Exhale to bow. No blocks. Inhale, rise. Exhale to the heart. Invite yourself to stand really still, working through the fabric of the body to help release the karma. Even if we inherited this karma, we are a part of the stream. And you can release both hands. And we're going to go through a sequence for the upper back, neck, and shoulders before we come up to some standing poses. I want this to feel really free and open for you. And we're going to do this sequence on the floor. I'm going to turn so that you can see different variations or nuances of the sequence. Okay, so first thing, when we walk out towards child's pose, I do want your palms to be flat on the top of the block and for the arm to be rotated externally. So when you walk forward, stretch the block out. And for those of you for whom this child's pose would be difficult, you can do the same process by being up on the knees like this, and then having a chair to put your hands on, something like this, right? So I know that not everybody's knees bend all the way into child's pose, so that's an option to consider how you vary that. Okay, so here we are in this child's pose. And you're going to keep your left hand on the block and place your right hand on the floor near your right knee. And please twist your upper body to your right, to your heart, then your shoulders, turn your chin, turn your nose, and then keep turning your eyes. Now with the left arm stretched out, check that you've got the outer shoulder blade wrapping around. And the rotation of the left arm means that your inner bicep is going up towards the ceiling, the outer tricep is going down towards the floor. And then when you exhale, unwind your eyes, your nose, your chin, and walk the right hand out. You place your left hand on the floor and begin twisting to your left. So when you're turning, turn your heart first, then your shoulders, then your throat, your chin, turn your nose, turn your eyes past where your head can go. Check that the right arm, you have this nice rotation. So the inner bicep is rising, the inner armpit is rising. Wrap your right shoulder blade around your rib cage. And tone the outer shoulder blade muscles as you reach towards your right elbow. Then rotate your eyes, your nose, your ears, your head to center. Walk the left hand back out. Hover your ears between your upper arms, and then walk backwards and rise up to kneeling. Okay, now we're going to take those two blocks for the elbows. And those of you who prefer, you can put your elbows up on a chair so your knees don't have to bend as much as this. When you place the blocks for the elbows, put them so that they are shoulder width apart, and start with the elbows on the center of the blocks. You don't tip them over. And then you tip back like this. So you have the base of the upper arm where it meets the elbow. That's on the back of the block here. Now, if you press your fingerprints against each other like those spiders before, or the suction cups, you're going to separate the centers of the palms and the heels of your hands. So you are increasing the rotation of the shoulders right now. We want the shoulder blades to go wide around the rib cage. Draw your hips back so it's a little bit like doing puppy dog pose, a little bit less like child's pose, closer to puppy dog pose. Press down with both elbows as you take the centers of the palms and the wrists away from each other. Make the fingers longer and stronger. Now I'm going to ask you to roll forward. If you're on the blocks, you're going to take the palms face up, and now you're on the top of the forearm, the upper part of the forearm, the back of the elbow, and the palms face up. See if you can stretch the heart forward, bring your chin forward, let the spine come towards cow pose. And look past your right shoulder towards the floor behind you. And then bring your chin forward and look past your left shoulder towards the floor behind you. And then bring the chin forward again, a cow pose spine. And then neutral, almost like you're going to do dolphin pose. Place one hand on the block, then the other. Walk yourself back to kneeling. And come upright and just notice what's happening here. Okay, now I'm going to turn to face you so you can see it from here. We're going to start using a little bit more flexion for the spine to add to a twist. So one block is going to be here at the ready. The other block is here. You're going to place your right forearm on this block here and the left hand on the block here. So this is the most spacious of this variation. And we twist the upper body to the left. You can gaze to your left. And then to make this a little bit deeper, we incrementally shift it so you can move the block for your right arm and move your right arm over. So now the right hand can go under the left hand. Press your left hand down and twist to your left. And let the right shoulder and the right rib cage on the exhale, let that kind of melt down towards the floor. And inhale, twist to your left. Okay, next stage is like this. Turn the right hand palm face up. And then let the right shoulder again melt down towards the floor. As you're twisting to your left, look to your left. And now we're going to add another stage to this, but let's unwind and just see what this first part, what is this like? You know, it's the whole back of the body there, reaching around myofascially into your hands. So what's happening for you when you come upright? Okay. Now we're going to take the right elbow across like this. Turn the right palm up. Take your left hand onto your right hand and twist through here. So you've crossed your right elbow quite a bit further over. It's past your left knee. If it were a typewriter bar, it's gone past the edge of the typewriter. As you twist now to your left, you could choose to gaze down past your right shoulder. So practice inviting the outer right shoulder blade, right upper back, right mid back. That's going to melt down towards the floor. But you are actively twisting with your left hand, left shoulder, left elbow, the left shoulder blade. If you've been gazing down, you might try gazing sideways, and you may try gazing up for everyone and let the eyes go farther than the nose can go, because they can do that. And then let's unwind and rise up and see what's happening in the right hemisphere of the body, down into your right hand. Now the other side. So we go like this, this is your typewriter bar, put the typewriter bar in front of your knees and come down with your left forearm just to start, and right hand on the block. So initially just twist to your right, noticing what's happening. The next stage is to walk the left elbow over and place your right hand on your left hand, so the left hand goes underneath. The right arm's going to be active, so your twist to the right has purpose and intention, but the left shoulder and the left shoulder blade are invited to melt down towards the floor. And then what you can do is turn your left palm face up, right hand on the left. As you roll the right shoulder open, make the right arm active, and the left shoulder blade is melting towards the floor here. Sort of actively broaden the left shoulder blade away from the spine. And then let yourself roll back up to sitting. Take notice. Hopefully cool things are happening. Left side of the body getting awakened. Back of the shoulder blade, left rib cage. And now we're going to use the elbow. So you move your typewriter bar a tiny bit more over and take the back of your left elbow and then the right hand to the left. As you twist to your right, let the right arm be active. You may choose to gaze down or gaze up. Encourage the left shoulder blade to sort of melt down around the left side of your rib cage. So the twist to the right is active, and you might be finding that you have like neuromuscular differences left to right when you're twisting, not just structural, but how strong is the right hand for pressing down against the left for twisting relative to what the left arm was doing. You may start turning your gaze if you'd like to explore. Rotate your gaze, and as you rotate, then let the eyes keep going past where your nose can go. And then releasing from there, let's rise up to sitting and notice, okay, what's happening here? And we're going to bring this into some standing positions that involve twisting. So place your blocks, please, and rise up to standing. We'll put the blocks on either side of the feet. They can be symmetrical for right now, but I will be making them asymmetrical in a few moments. When you come up, take notice how things are. Neck and shoulders, maybe you can check your neck range of motion even, you know what's happening there. When you turn to your right, when you turn to your left. And so please come down to Uttanasana. Then step your left foot back to the pose we call Parsvottanasana, which means it's not the longest stride that you do for a standing pose. And the back foot is turned on an angle, something like how I'm putting this block right here, so that your left heel can be down. Let's bow the torso over your right thigh, please. Walk your hands and your blocks forward. Come up to your fingertips on your blocks and do your best to rotate the outer triceps in towards the nose. Widen your shoulder blades. Keep the base of your skull gently lifted so your ears kind of hover between your upper arms. Now for those of you for whom when you bend forward, your arms are quite a bit lower than your head because of the dynamics between your hamstrings and your spine, you also want to keep the base of the skull lifted. So you don't push the ears down to be between the upper arms, but for those who are very flexible, I don't want you to hang your head lower than your upper arms. Keeping your left hand stretched forward, walk your right hand back, turn the right block up to the tall setting. Press down into your right fingertips and begin twisting your upper body to your right. And as you start gazing to your right, do not forget about the left shoulder and the left shoulder blade. Draw the right hip back, please. Good, and then exhale and release. Walk both blocks back to be on either side of your right foot. And please step forward. Place your feet in mountain pose and rise up to stand to take notice of what's happening when you come up to mountain pose. And listen inside your body as we're turning, as we're twisting, as we're kind of resolving tension in small and large muscles. Where do these words land with you now? This is our karma. Karma can be healed and transformed. We have to choose to do so. If it's hard to be with just a physical sensation in the body, we have to consider how will we do when we're facing more difficult emotions, the sensations of those emotions. So this is practice. Some of these things I'm teaching this morning are deliberately unusual. They're different than how we normally do it, so we can move out of our familiar neuromuscular patterns. Let's try the other side, shall we? So come down, and you're going to step backwards with your right foot. So that's Parsvottanasana. Pivot the right heel. So your back foot is on this kind of angle, which you see with my block here. And then you can bow over the left leg and walk your hands forward. Come up to your fingertips on your blocks. So what I could say about the ears here on the base of the skull is that you're lifting the base of the skull so the ears are floating, the back of the ears are floating, and that your head is really in line with your spine. So if you're someone who's going deeply forward and you're tempted to put your nose on your shin bone, I'm going to ask you not to. And if you're someone whose forward bend is not that limber, don't try to bring your face any closer to your left leg. Think about the breath as moving into the back hemisphere of the body here, this whole myofascial plane. And keeping your right fingertip stretched out on your block, please walk the left hand back, turn the left block to be tall. Now, before you start going, check that your right tricep, your right shoulder, you've maintained your integrity right there, and then begin to twist to your left. So the left arm is strong here. Your right arm is also now purposely engaged. As you turn, you might turn your gaze to the left as far as you can, go as farther than your nose can go. Keep drawing the left hip back, please. And then as you next exhale, release and tip the left block down next to your foot. Pull the right block back in line with your foot. And then bend your left knee and step your right foot forward to meet your left foot. So your feet are in mountain pose here. And then hands to the hips, please rise up to standing. Now we're going to use a chair for a little bit deeper twisting. Sometimes people think, oh, the chair, we're just beginners. It is not because you are beginners that we're using a chair. It is because I want to help you go more deeply inside. So we're going to take the chair, excuse me. I'll place it like this so you can see pretty well. And I'm going to ask you to have 2 blocks on your chair seat at the ready, like this. Okay, now I'm going to call this my right arm and leg because they are. And the other side I'll call my left. So let's put the right foot up. This was my left foot a few moments ago in that other position. So I'm just clarifying for you. It's my right leg again. Okay, cross your left hand over your right knee. Turn the left hand up like when you were holding the block earlier. So you've got this external rotation. And open out to your left. Now as you rotate, try really turning that you've got this rotation. The upper chest has to agree to the rotation. So does the shoulder and the arm bone. So you're turning your tricep up towards the ceiling. Look over your left shoulder to the best of your ability and make a little standing back bend. Let this twist include a little back bend or the feeling of back bending. Inhale, and then follow your exhale to unwind. Okay, now take the back of your left hand around the outside of your right thigh and slide it down, however far it's meant to go for you. Okay, so mine comes down about to my elbow. Some of you are going to slide all the way down. Maybe your left armpit goes over your right thigh. Keep yourself stable and place this hand to stretch the myofascial region of your left forearm and give a little tug on your wrist with your right hand. Okay, and then open your right arm to twist up to the ceiling. You have to actively press your left arm against your right knee. Yeah, it's true. And you have to actively keep both hips centered and both feet grounded. Yes. You can gaze up so long as you have your balance. And then exhale, fold the right hand down to meet the left and come up to Anjali Mudra. Stand steady, lift your heart, your throat, and your gaze. Now place your hands on your hips and come forward. You've got 2 blocks stacked right here. Turn them sideways so they make a nice little bench to rest your left forearm on. And then the left forearm can hold the middle of the right shin right about here. Take your right hand to your right knee and twist. So when you're holding your left hand on your right shin, go ahead and use that as a support to your twist. Also use your right arm as a support to your twist. Widen your collarbones and turn your gaze potentially turning your eyes a little further than your nose can go. So press your left elbow firmly down against the blocks. It's a part of the structure. And then float your right arm up. Now pressing into both hips and both heels, return to Anjali Mudra. Can you come back to your intention? Lift your heart, your throat, and your gaze. Now we use only one block on the chair seat, so come down. So your right hand is going to be on your right knee. The torso does come inside the right thigh, and you can hold your left hand on your right ankle. So your twist is a little more forward bend now. Okay, and press into your left elbow. Start twisting to your right. Turn your belly button to the right. Rotate your rib cage. Imagine inside you're unwinding neurological habits, some of those that you did inherit, some of those you didn't even know you inherited. Some of them are widespread in our culture. Some may be closer to your own family culture. When you're gazing up now, raise your left arm. Try to keep your right knee just where it was so it's not tipping out to the right. And then pressing into both hips and both heels, return again to your intention, to your Anjali Mudra. We don't become overly preoccupied with our own experience there in the twist. We're able to come back to our intention, which the purpose of is larger than just our own healing. Okay, so step your right foot down. Let's do the other side. I'm going to turn my chair because otherwise I'm looking at the closet doors behind me, and I like to look at my monitor and see you guys. So these go here at the ready. Take your left foot up on the chair seat and cross your left knee with your right hand. Yeah. Lengthen up through the spine and turn your left palm so it's face up as you rotate. So the left hand is like this, like hitchhiking. When you're twisting, try turning the low belly, the mid belly, the upper back, chest and heart, little back bend there. Yeah. Turn your gaze, you're opening neurologically and in every other way, opening to a wider view. And then as you exhale, please unwind and turn your right hand, so you're on the back of your hand there, and we're going to slide it down. That's the sound of my chair, not the sound of my body. Maybe I'll creak like that at some point, but that's not me creaking. Take the left hand on the right and give a good stretch down the forearm. Press into your wrist. Some of you might be finding out that, gosh, when you put pressure on your wrist, your right lower back lights up. Like, yeah, those are connected. Breathe in. And now press your right elbow and your left knee against each other, and you can twist and raise your left arm. And you might be finding out that you don't twist as far to your left as you did to your right. That's certainly the case for me, and there's reasons why we don't twist in one direction as well as we do to the other. Doesn't make us bad people, just makes us asymmetrical people. Okay, so breathing in, press into both hips and both heels. And then see if you can find your way back to your Anjali Mudra, to your intention. When you come back to Anjali, please open the throat and lift your gaze slightly up. And then we'll come down where you've got two blocks stacked. Place your right forearm on the two blocks. Hold the middle of your left shin. And take the left hand to your left knee and twist to your left. When you're twisting here, press into your right elbow. Good. Seems easy right now. I know this is not the hardest one in the series. We're going to now lift the left arm up, which means you get to find out what your twist is. If it's asymmetrical, of course, yoga is not recommending that we condemn our sensations, symptoms, or imbalances, but that we bring awareness to them. Good. Yeah. And then press into both hips and both heels, please. And as you exhale, return to Anjali Mudra. Can you find your way? So your heart intention includes your throat and eye posture as well. And then we take only one block for the forearm. So you are going to be coming down to the inside of your left thigh. And that means that your right forearm, when it comes down, you can hold your left ankle with your right hand. And please twist to your left. And when you're twisting, you may turn your gaze a little farther than your nose can go even here. You can look up. Of course, you can also look down. It's always an option. You choose your head position based on what gives you more of a harmonious and wise relationship with your body. Now with an exhale, again, press into your feet, rise up to your Anjali Mudra. Can you find your place? And then release your left foot back down from the chair. And let's stand in mountain pose for a few moments. I'll face you because it's nicer for me to see you that way. You face however you want to. And try to sense what's moving, right? What are you kind of unearthing, right? If you were tilling the soil in the garden, what are you resolving? If you were putting something overboard from a boat on the ocean, what are you discovering? Okay, so we're going to do a supported back bend pose, and then something for the craniosacral occipital ridge. And I want that to take us to Shavasana, so we'll have time for pranayama today. A pranayama set, I might call it that. So you can put your chair away. Let me get mine out of the way. So this is a supported back bend. You will be using the block. Hopefully you do not have a squishy block. If you have a squishy block, and if you've ever been to my yoga studio, you know that I dislike the squishy blocks, and I have criticized them publicly. And it's because something like this, the squishy block, feels like it's going to fall over. So if you have a squishy block, please be thoughtful and put the block on the medium setting so you're not doing quite the same, or just be very careful about your squishy block. So what you do here is the first edge of the block is for the base of your shoulder blades, like this. And the second edge of the block is a little bit irrelevant because you are just the length that you are, but it's likely to touch near the 7th cervical vertebrae, somewhere there. So like if you're somewhere near the middle of the shoulder blades for the first edge of the block, when you go over the block, this is going to be at the base of the cervical spine, the top region of the shoulder blades. Okay, I'm going to take my hair clip out. No point in feeling pain from hair clips. So interlace your fingers behind your head. And you get to kind of bury this as a back bend over the block backwards. The hips do lift high. And we also get to melt this down, a little bit like Salvador Dali, the painting of which the name I just forgot. Okay, so the hips might come to the floor, and you've got the upper back on the edge of the block. Pull the elbows up, please, and widen your shoulder blades. And kind of go between these two positions so you could reach your hips up again the legs come up, hips about the same height as the knees. And maybe you back bend over the block backwards. Hopefully you have a very stable block, like I was saying. And then we back bend again, taking the hips down. Something that I really like about this block when it's on the tall setting is that it fits between the two shoulder blades. It's really purposeful. Enjoy your back bend. And then again, please raise your hips slowly. So you've got this pressure at C7, T1, that's the bottom cervical spine, the top thoracic spine. And your head can go backwards, supported by your hands. And then once more, please come into the sort of Salvador Dali position, which I'm calling. It looks like a clock melting over the edge of a landscape. That's the painting that I'm thinking of. And then you're going to roll yourself forward and rise up to sitting. Okay, now I'm going to show you something that we had really positive results from a couple weeks ago, but I want you to understand where we're going. So this edge of the block right here is going to be at the base of the skull, at the occipital ridge. And this one ends up where it does on your body because whatever that distance is from the base of your skull, the length of the block. The block is going to get very slightly tipped like this once you're on it. And that's going to give you some craniosacral occipital ridge pressure. So we go like this. I place it. You can watch if you haven't seen this before. When I lie back, I'm kind of making a guess. Am I going to get this so that, oh, I did pretty well. I'm right there. So that the block is at the base of my skull, right here. And I tipped it already so that the far end of the block is tipped up off the floor. There's a space underneath there. And the arms go out to the side. And you've got this pressure. Yes, there is pressure right there. It is a firm styrofoam block. And I'm going to ask you to just gently rotate your nose a little bit left to right. You are touching tender spots there. Yes. Try to smile at them. Again, there's nothing in the body that's trying to be unkind to you and to give you a sensation like as a form of punishment. Your body is only informing you that these things exist. So rock that a little bit left to right, just a couple times more. And then we're going to actually rest in this position for about a minute or so before we go to Shavasana. So let's do palms face down. My hope is that your elbows are on the floor. Relax your eyes and your forehead. Release the hinge of your jaw, the muscle of the tongue. And let that become a quality of ease for your heart and also for your gut. So Larry Ward also said to know this direction that we want to move, to heal and transform karma, to live together as community, it has to be embodied. So let your body be a part of this inquiry. Now we're going to release this block so we can go to Shavasana. To do this, please bend your knees and then let the block tip back to the floor. Place your hands underneath your pelvis so your palms are face down. And then roll your chin up, look forward, press down, rise up to sit. Put the block aside and come down to Shavasana. What you're going to notice is there is a warming. A warming will happen. That warmth is coming into the base of the skull, the top of the neck. And that warmth is something you can rest your attention on to invite your mind to drop down into Shavasana now. Knowing that we're going to come for pranayama, you don't want the mind to be busy in Shavasana. So rest your attention right there at the sensations where the neck is getting warmer, and then it will go back to homeostasis. It will become neutral again. You may just rest your attention right there, observing the sensations. They become more and more subtle. Welcome your body to receive the medicine of your practice and your efforts, the medicine of the physical asana. So allow the medicine to go a little more deeply yet again. Let the entire body relax from the base of your skull downwards to all regions of the body and upwards to the intricacies of the spine, becoming the cranium, the brain, the senses. Now keeping your awareness quiet so the mind does not become activated. Just gently wiggle your toes, your fingers. Tone the low belly so you can bend one knee and then the other knee. And please roll to your side, roll to your right side. Come up to sitting. Please take a blanket to sit on or whatever your preferred sitting position is for pranayama. When you come up, let the spine be upright. Acclimate to what's transpired in your practice. So what we're going to do is using Nadi Shodhana and a certain counting pace. We call this the triangle breath. So inhale, whatever pace that is. Inhale, suspension. And then exhale. And a little pause at the bottom of the exhale. The thing I want you to be aware of today, I spoke about yesterday, and that is that at the top of the inhale, I want you to sense you really are lifting the heart from underneath. And the inhale suspension, the collarbones are up. And then there's this natural inclination to lift the base of the skull. And there's tone in the throat right here. The chin is coming down, but the heart is rising up. So let's try this as we did yesterday, first with a hand on the heart, and then we'll go to Nadi Shodhana. So place your left hand here to give a little weight to the collarbones. And then when you're inhaling, go from the low third to the middle third to the upper third of the breath, and let the breath lift the sternum up into your hand. And then hold that breath for a few moments. Notice during the hold that if you lift the base of the skull and the chin comes in towards the throat, you can sense some muscles under your fingers right here are being lengthened. They're moving. And then you release the bandha to exhale from the base of the belly. Exhale slowly and smoothly. And we're going to try this now with Nadi Shodhana. So let's keep the left hand as feedback. Please take the right fingers into the center of your palm. Place your thumb and your ring finger at the bridge of your nose. Close the right nostril and left nostril only for the inhale. Be sure to lift the heart with the upper part of your inhale. And for the length that your inhale was, you're going to suspend the breath. Lower your right hand as you hold the inhale. Then bring the right hand up, close the left nostril. Exhale, right side only, equal to the length of your inhale, equal to the length of your suspension. And then inhale, right side, making sure the upper third of the breath lifts the heart. When you hold, lower your right hand down. Place the right hand, begin exhaling left side only. Inhale, left side. Holding, you can lower the right hand. Bring the right hand up, exhale, right nostril. Inhale, right side. Exhale, left side. One more time, inhale, left. Exhale, right. Inhale, right. Suspending. Exhale, left. Release both hands to your lap. And try to sense the teachings of Dr. Ward, Larry Ward, even as you sit in quiet, that karma can be healed. We have to choose to do so. And please bring your hands together at your heart. Om Asatoma Satgamaya
Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorama Amritam Gamaya Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Guru Pyo Namah Hari Om.
Thank you, everyone. Namaste. I'm going to come up to visit with you for a few minutes.